Hey friends, I want to talk to you today about this concept of no contact and estrangement because there are people talking about it all over the internet. And it is a very touchy subject, but I do believe I can add some perspective to it because I have walked through it on both sides. In fact, one of the sides being the one on the choosing to do that for healing purposes is where I have the most experience. But I will say there is a good way to do this. The problem is the media, without the godly perspective, kind of makes it this go no contact, cut them off. And I'm sure there are messages out there that are being sent to next generation young people about, like don't talk to them, ignore them. And I get it. I've had an unhealthy relationship with someone in my life. It was apparent. And oh, yes, there have been so many times, months, years, days where it was like, I cannot, they are not healthy for me. And you really need to get healthy in your mind and in your heart. And really, honestly, for me, it was in my body too. Um, to learn to detach from them because usually it is like some really unhealthy relationship that just needs to be rebuilt. And a lot of times that means making it unhealthy or making it not exist. So I do think that it can be a good thing, but you have to have God in it and you have to be intentional about healing, whichever side you're on, whether you're on the receiving end or you're on the, you're the one that's doing it. The healing is the biggest part. And yes, you need God to walk you through this more than anyone. There's so many ways that I got close to God, and this is definitely one of the biggest ways when I was working through this because it really started. I didn't even know it really existed. It didn't really start until I ended up in treatment at 31 and putting down alcohol and food and really realizing I had to deal with my childhood trauma of my parents' divorce, but also realizing that my relationship with my mom was unhealthy. So we had to do all kinds of things. I had to do things to detach from that because we had built this unhealthy attachment that needed to be kind of in the unhealthy way severed. It's like you almost have to, you know, like all the little strings, you need to kind of break them off in order to rebuild. And I often tell people, you can be the one to create the change. You can be the one that says, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm going to heal. And if that takes disengaging, then that's what it takes. But again, no contact, saying you're never going to talk to them again on purpose, being kind of venomous about it, angry about it, not going to help you. Not going to help your heart. You're going to be having a prison in your own heart and you're going to be stuck in it because all you're doing is taking those arrows you want to point at them and pointing them back at you. And you have got to heal. You have got to heal that relationship. Like with my mom, it took years and years. And like you have to trust God's timing in the healing, trust God for when it's time to bring you back together. But it's like that doesn't like it's not this thing where it's like, hi, can everybody wants to fix it. You don't go and fix it right now. Let's fix it. No, because some people really need to heal. And some people, like me, I don't drink. So I can't really be around people that drink. And some people might take that personally, but it's like, that's not healthy for me. Like I went to Notre Dame. I was in grad school at Notre Dame when I came home. And I thought there'd be a whole bunch of people that were trying to recover from alcoholism. Well, guess what? No, because Notre Dame has such a massive drinking culture. Trying to get sober is a very difficult thing. So, it's funny. I live here, but I don't go to tailgates. I don't go to those things where drinking is a part. I'm not afraid to, but I don't need to expose myself to that. So I think part of it is if you're on the receiving end, you kind of got to look at what in your life is unhealthy because it isn't just a one way thing. What is like what could be affecting them in your life? But also you really can't change them. You only can change yourself. So honestly, you kind of got to let it go. And I know how hard it is because we have a kid that we haven't talked to in 7 years. And I know they talked to someone in our family, and it hurts me because it just breaks my heart because I love them and I love my husband, and it's just difficult. So I know how you feel if you're on the receiving end. But not completely, because we all have a different story, kind of like grief. We all have a different story with grief. Nobody knows exactly how each other feels, but we can help each other because we get what you're going through. So, but my healing journey, I'll probably do some other videos on this if you're interested, because there were so many aspects to it where we were kind of in and out of in a relationship, not in a relationship, like there were blowout fights there were, but some of the things that God did in our healing, um he just slowly guided me the whole time, and I'm so grateful for it. Because like my mom and I aren't best friends. Like I love her to pieces, but we're different people, and I've learned to accept her for who she is, and I think she has the same with me. And I can be there for her. She fell last year. I can be there for her in ways I couldn't have been. I mean, when we were doing it, I was like, oh my gosh, if I wasn't sober and not picking up food, I would not be sane doing this. Granted, drove me a little nuts. She would probably attest to it, but it's only because of healing that relationship. So here's what I want to just say. If you're that person in that no contact space, pray for God to give you the perseverance, but also pray for his guidance. He's the one that's got to lead you. He's the one, you know, like, he's your heavenly father. So he wants to comfort you and guide you and heal your heart. But, he wants families to be together, you know, but forcing it isn't going to be the answer. So, you have to heal your heart. And I'm not just saying, again, no contact is not just, I'm not talking to them. No, no contact. If you want to do it right and you want to get better, you need to heal. Again, seek the Lord, but also you may need some therapy. I needed it. I needed it to navigate my relationship with my mom. I needed it. And for other things, obviously. But if you don't do that, you can't just turn to a friend and be like, hi, can you help me with this? I help women all the time, but I am not a therapist. Like, you need somebody, a biblical counselor would be my recommendation, who can say to you, who can listen to you and help you process through it. And I really have a kind of a problem with people like Matt Walsh saying that, the mental health industry is trying to take your kids away. They're telling kids to desert their parents. Yeah, there may be some, but I just don't agree with that. And it's attacking the mental health industry. And there's a lot of people who have mental health issues it can be some sort of spiritual warfare, demonic influence, but a lot of times it can be the physiological brain where people need to get help for their mental health issues. And so to attack the mental health industry and say they're trying to keep you from your parents, I think is not a smart idea, partly because we have so many screwed up, mentally unhealthy people in this world right now. So I caution that, because you really need someone, again, to help you navigate it. And you may need somebody to help you navigate from the other side. If the person's going no contact with you, you may need someone to help you through that too. They are both hard. They are both really a form of grief. And it's such a delicate thing. And you really need people that have been there to guide you through it. I had one or two women that I would talk to, when it was really hard, or I was bawling, or I'm like, is this normal? Is this how it's supposed to be? But all those hard days, all those times where I would talk to her and it wouldn't go well. I used to fear talking to her. I don't fear that anymore. Just I can spend time with her and love her, and in ways I couldn't have years ago. And that is just all attesting to God. So, I want you to really be aware that God needs to be in the middle of it, and don't just turn to culture. This is kind of why I'm talking about it, because I don't want you to get distracted, derailed by what media is telling you. Because, especially if they're not coming at from a biblical, godly perspective, because they can just say, oh, yeah, go no contact. And I guarantee you, I'm sure there's people on TikTok going, yeah, go no contact forever and ever. No, not a smart idea. Like, leave that up to God. Like, I had to go through a time, especially after my dad died and I got engaged, and my mom did not respond positively to our engagement. And it devastated me. And that was like, I think there were so many levels of that healing, but that was one of the points where I was like, okay, I may never talk to my mom again. So it was another level of grief. So, but I trusted God. It was like, okay, I may not, but I trust you, God. And then we did, in his time, not in my time. Going to that person, trying to fix them, or trying to fix the situation ain't going to help you. You're not that powerful. God is powerful. And all it takes is one person to say, I want to be part of the healing. I want to be part of the change. But, you know, you cannot force anybody to do anything. So, um, I want to read you a really short excerpt of my book that's about to come out. And in this chapter, towards the end of the book, I have kind of doing a heart inventory. And the second thing I talk about in this chapter is resentments and forgiveness. And I'm going to give you this little passage with it and a little paragraph so you can kind of get an idea. But it says, just walking away or going no contact isn't what fixes a resentment. Distance can help with forgiveness, but it will not fix it. If you are going to be distant, you've got to use it to work through your part in it. Blaming someone will get you nowhere but stuck in deeper resentment. Writing someone off or burning bridges isn't going to make it better. It's just going to make the resentment stagnant. You've got to forgive. Remember what Jesus said to Peter about how long it takes. This is one of the most powerful forgiveness scriptures I have referred to in the Bible. I point people to it all the time when they're dealing with resentments. Matthew 18:20 to 22 NIV. Lord, how many times shall I forgive my brother or sister who sins against me? Up to 7 times? Like he thought that was a lot. Jesus answered, I tell you, not 7 times, but 77 times. And whenever I go through that hurt again, like I'm expecting something to be different, it's like, oh, okay, I got to let it go. Here it is. It's probably more than 70 times by now. But I think obviously he was giving an example of just how many times it takes. So if you're in that place where you need to forgive that person who's gone no contact with you, or you need to forgive the person you're going no contact with, you have to understand it's a process. Yes, you really need to get to that space where, like, okay, I'm done, God. Take it now. I'm done overanalyzing it. I'm done trying to figure it out. God, take it from me. And, and keep seeking him, and he will heal you, and he will show you when it's time to reconnect. And he will honestly create the space for it to happen. But guess what? It doesn't mean everything's going to be sunshine and roses. You're still different people. You still have the stuff in the past, but you love each other. It's not about what's in the past. It's about what God did in each of you. So I hope that helps. I can do, like I said, I can do other videos. If there's an aspect of this, like you would like to know how to healthfully detach from a parent, and build. I say detach. I mean, I guess it's a psychology term, but I just think it's better than saying no contact, because yes, I may be going no contact when I'm detaching, but um, I'm very intentional about what I'm doing in that space. So I hope this helped. Let me know if you have any questions or you want me to do a video on an aspect of this. And I'm just praying for all of you going through this, Lord. I just pray for every single person watching this that is struggling on both sides of the aisle. I pray for the person that is just in that space where they haven't spoken to someone they love, or they've just taken a pause because they know it's unhealthy. Lord, I just pray that you heal them, heal their hearts, heal their minds. Just be with them in their season and heal them. Give them a desire to heal. Give them the perseverance to not get caught up in the old patterns. Give them your strength, your hope, everything that you have, Lord. We can't do any of this without you. So I just pray, help them to see that you know what's down the road. and that you are taking care of them and you love them. And for the people that have family members that have gone no contact with them, Lord, I just pray for their hearts. I pray that you just speak to their hearts, remind them that you're their Father, remind them that you love them, Lord, and just help them to surrender whatever this looks like. Help them to release their minds to you. They're overthinking, something we so all like to do in these kinds of situations. Lord, I just pray that you release that. And I pray for the people that have gone no contact with them, that they are on a healing journey, that you are with them. Or if they are not, I pray that you would do a work in them and break the chains and help them to heal, help them to have a desire to heal. Bring your spirit, Lord. Your spirit, I know, can penetrate the hearts that are hard, Lord. You soften our hearts. I pray that you penetrate the hardened hearts and give them hope and help them turn to you, Lord. And I pray all these things in Jesus Christ. Amen.